Hi there guys, welcome to my new video in Rive on how to create a faux 3D effect. We are going to create this really cool 3D cube and it's going to be lots of fun. See you in the lesson. Hi there guys, today I'm going to show you how to create this really cool faux 3D cube in Rive. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rectangle. Let's make it 200 by 200. I'm just going to give it this color here and center it on the artboard. Now this is where the magic happens. I group it twice, and then this top group I call this perspective, and this one I call rotation. So what's going to happen now, if I take this perspective group here and I bring the Y down, say to 30, and I go into the rotation group, see what happens. This is really, really cool. And this is the base from where we can build our cube. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to make this 100 by 100 again. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create bones. So press the B tool for bones. Create a bone there. And we put a bone, Alt-click to drag it out. Alt-click to drag another one out. And then Alt-click. So now we've got 4 bones. Now we've got 4 bones. Now we just need to bind this rectangle to the bone. So I'll press double enter. Say just yes, convert. Bind bones. Control, Shift, select all 4 of these bones. Press done. And then I'm just going to go in here and just make sure that they're all weighted. This one should be weighted there 100%. This one should be weighted 100% to the yellow one. This one should be weighted 100% here. And then the last one there. Okay, that's done. Then what I do after that is I put the bones into the same group. And now if I bring the perspective down, you can see what's happening. Make it 25. Then if I rotate it, the bones go with that. That's really cool. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, let's take this one, group this one again, and I'm going to call this bottom. And I'm going to duplicate this one and call it top. Then I'm going to take this side. I've got this side here that I prepared. I keep it off the artboard and then I just copy and paste it because we're going to do a lot of copy and pasting to get this done. So we basically just alt drag and snap it here. And we place this one, the side, we place it between the top and the bottom. And I'm just going to group all of these together just to call it cube. Okay, and now we can start building this cube. So the top needs to go up here to the very top there. So we've got the top and we've got the bottom and we've got the side in the middle. Let me just make the side another color so we can see what's going on here. Okay, now we need to bind the side to this bones. Okay, and I'm sure you can already start to guess how this is going to work. So we're just going to go into the side and say bind bones. Control, Shift Control, select these 4 ones and say done. And edit vertices, make sure that the bones are bound to the correct vertices. And then this is what we got now. I'll show you how cool this is. I go to the rotation here for the top And then I go to the rotation for the bottom, control click both of them. And this is the basis of the cube. This is basically how it works. So let's continue. So now I'm going to, with both of these selected, I'm going to press 90. And then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to Alt drag my side here. Just line it up. Change the color. And this now is side 2. So I'm just, all the sides I'm putting here in the middle. In fact, let me group them so we just make it a bit neater. So we've got the cube, then we've got the top in a group, then we've got the bottom, and then all the sides I'm going to group it and call it sides. And just to make it clear, I'm going to call this one side 1, the first one we did. Side 1. So 2. And now we just repeat the process. Now we're going to bind side 2. So press enter twice. Bind bones. Just zoom in a bit because the bones look a bit funny because they've been skewed in perspective. And I'm just same process again. Shift, control shift. That's it. Now we've got them there. And then I just go to the vertices and make sure that they all correspond to the right ones. Okay, great. Let's test this out now. So go to rotation for the top and rotation for the bottom one, and see, now we've got a half a cube. And then all you do now is, after you went to the 90 degrees, now we still need to add 2. So I'm going to go to 180 degrees and then 270 degrees, and add 2. I'm not going to sit with you through that, so I just want you to do that now for practice. So go to 180 and then repeat that process, and then to 270 and repeat that process. And once you're done, press continue. Then we're going to get into how to actually set this cube up, and also how to add a little platform for it. Hi, welcome back. I went ahead and set up the rest of the cube. So I've got 4 sides here, side 1, 2, 3, and 4. I made them all the same color. And then the top part, I made this light color because this is where the light is hitting from. So what we need to do now is we need to create a timeline. So let me just create a new timeline. We're going to animate the rotation. So I'm just going to call it rotation X. And then all we need to do then is get the rotation for the perspective. Put a keyframe on 0. And then the same for the top one. So both of them should be on 0. Then we go to the end. We can actually select this one, control select the other one, and just make it 360. Now we should have a cube that spins. But now we're going to play with the color, so make it look nice. So the first color, we want this color to be when the cube is looking at the camera, we want this color. So I'm just going to put a keyframe for color. And then as it goes to the left side, it's going to hit the light. Then it's going to transform into a lighter color, the same color as at the top here. So then I just click that one there. And this is what we get, the color change. Then when we get to side 2, we want the same. But when it's on the right side, we want it darker. So I go back to frame 1. And I use the darker color. So as it rotates into view, it's still dark, and then it gets the normal color. And then when it goes to frame 30, it is light again. But you'll see there's a problem now. As this one moves, as side 2 moves, we can't see it anymore because we need to set up a draw rule. to put side one. If I take side one away, you'll see it's going to work perfectly. At the moment, side one is at the top, and that is making it difficult for us. So that's a very easy fix. All we do is we go to side one, and then here where it says draw order, we put a draw rule, and then we say below target. That's very important. And for the target, you choose side 4. So that what this means is when the draw rule is activated, side 1 is going to go to the bottom of the stack. And that's exactly what we want. So let's just twirl down. So to activate the draw, we're just going to press draw rule here. So now now the draw rule is activated, and I just go back one frame, and then I put normal, because we wanted, basically what's happening now is side 1 is in front, it's in front, and as it gets to 15, then it goes to the back. And now we can see side 2 is working in the same way. So now we're going to get to side 3, and we're going to set it up the same way. We're going to put the keyframe on color. I'm going to go back to 15, so that's when side 3 is still in the shadow side. And then we get here, and now it's on the light side. And then when we go to frame 45, we need to put another keyframe. And you can see now the same thing is happening with side 2. So side 2 is in front here. We need to tell Rive that we want side 2 at the back. Side 2 at the back. And we do it the same way. We go to frame 30, add a draw order, draw rule below target. Our target is side 4. We press normal. And then the very next frame, we activate our draw rule. So now it's working perfectly. Then we go to 45. And then we go to 45, and this is our side 4. And we do exactly the same. We add a keyframe for color, go back to frame 30, because now we have to insert the colorful when it's on the shadow side. And then now we need to, when it's finished, the rotation's finished, we just need to put this color here to the light. Okay, now we need to add a draw rule on side 3 as well when we go there. So basically we need to put side 3 behind side 4. So go to the draw order, we go below target, select side 4, and then we go forward 1 frame, and then go back 1 frame, normal. Okay, and that's almost done. The only thing we still need to do now is we need to go to the first one, side 1, and then just change side 1's color, because side 1 is on the shadow side now. So we're getting back to the beginning. So just do that, make it dark, and then as we get here, we're just going to change the color to this color here. So now we've got a perfect cube. That's looking really cool. Okay, now we need to add interactivity. Okay, before we do that, let's just see if everything is set up correctly here. We just need to do some cleaning. Okay, we've got the top, sides, and the bottom. Okay, everything is set up perfectly here now. Okay, What I'm going to do now is I'm going to press R and then create, in design view, just create a rectangle that's the size of the artboard. 500 by 500. Center it and call it hitbox. Now we're going to do something really cool. Then the next thing, I press G for group. Create a group, make it a target. Center that. Call this one pointer target. Then, now we go to the animate mode, go to the state machine. We need to create a listener. So select the hitbox, create a listener. Just call it pointer move or something like that. And then for pointer enter, we want pointer move. Just delete that and then plus align target. The target we want to align is this pointer target. So what this basically says, it says whenever you move across the screen here, this target's going to align to your cursor. But it'll all make sense a bit more later. Okay, so when we get to the hitbox, just go here in the inspector, give it opacity of 0, and we can just lock that, otherwise it's going to get in the way. Now we need to create a joystick to link this movement. So we're going to go to design mode and then J for joystick. I'm just going to put it here at the bottom and then choose drawn world space and make it 500, the width of our artboard. And then for the x-axis, we're going to choose rotation X. So now this joystick is linked to this animation, this rotation X animation. Back in design mode. Now we need a handle for this joystick. So we're just going to press G, create a group, change the group to a target. We're going to call it joystick handle. And then we click on the joystick again. For the handle source, we click joystick handle. And now joystick handle is, if I move joystick handle, you'll see the joystick moves with it. Now we just need to tell this handle, this is the last part of the setup. We need to tell this handle, when this handle moves, it needs to be linked to the pointer target. So that's very easy. We go to joystick handle, add a translation constraint, and for the target, we choose pointer target. So that's telling this joystick handle that it should align to the pointer target. But I did something wrong. I did something wrong now. But I'll show you now what I did wrong. I'm just going to delete it. So we add the constraint, translation constraint, enable offset. That's very important. I forgot to do that. Now, whenever I follow the target here, this one's going to move, but it's keeping the offset here. And we can disable Y because we're only going to move in the X. So let's see if it works. So now if we go to the state machine, just delete that. See, now whenever we move the joystick, the cursor, it follows. And that's the basic setup of the cube. Okay, so the cube is rigged, but I see there, if you go into the state machine and you play it, you'll see there's a bit of a glitch there. It's actually quite an easy fix. All we need to go, we go to the rotation X, and wherever we see our draw rules, we just need to shift them one back. So just one keyframe back for all of them. And then the last one. And that should solve the problem. Let's see. Yeah, now everything's working perfectly. Okay, let's create the shadow. I just created this platform here. It's actually very easy to set up. What you do is you just create a top, a bottom, and then put a rectangle in the middle, just so you can see the sides here. So this one's skewed, and then bottom one's skewed, and then the rectangle is just set there with the same color as the bottom. It's not rocket science. Okay. Press P for the pen tool. Then click on this bone here. Drag out here. And then up to that bone there. And say close path. Done editing. Okay, so you'll see what I did here is I've created another bone. And this is where we're going to hook the shadow. You'll see how this is going to work. So let's just select this one. Make it a darker color. Very dark like that. And then we select the shadow. Call it shadow 1. And then we go into the master here. There's a group I created called shadow. I'm going to put that in. So the shadow is between the platform and the cube. So now what we need to do is we need to take the shadow and we need to clip it. So we go to the clipping, press top. So now it's clipped to the top. So now it's gonna look cool. So it's just part of the top there. So now let me go to the shadow and bind it. So I press enter twice. Select bind bones. Control shift. This one, and this one. Done. Then I just make sure that the vertices are correct here. And then this one 100% bound to that one. And then the bottom two should be bound to the bottom bone. Okay, so that's all we need to do basically for the shadow, but you'll see what will happen now. So it works perfectly, but then it gets then it starts behaving weirdly. So that's because we have to copy it for every side. So we did the first side. So let's do the second one. So all we do is we duplicate the shadow, go to the path and just delete the bones for now. Call this one shadow 2. And then we go to our rotation for the cube, for the bottom and the top. And we just go and say 90, because now we're working on the next angle. And then we go to shadow 2, enter twice, bind bones, just zoom in a bit here, select this one, control shift, select that one there, and this one. So now we've got them done. And then we just weight them correctly. So this one would be the root one, and then that one would be the yellow one. And then the bottom two, of course, would be these two vertices. Okay, so that should work. Let's have a look here. Go to artboard, press F to frame everything. So now that's working. So all you need to do now is it's the same process as when we set up the cube. Now we just go to rotation and rotation. And then we go to 180. When we get to 180, we duplicate the shadow. And just delete the bones for that shadow. And then we just repeat the process. So you link it to that one. And then after that, when you get to 270, you do the same. You repeat the same process. And I'm not going to go through that because I don't want to bore you. But that's basically how you set it up. Okay, now I'm just going to add some final details to make it look really cool. So just create a new timeline. Let's call this one idle. And then we go here, we make it 4 seconds, so press 400. Then we wanted a loop and we want the work area. So then I'll go here to the first second, to the second second. Then all I do is I take the cube master here and I put a keyframe on Y, go forward 30, and let's take this one up and then go here to the end. So we create a loop and then we just cubic interpolation there, copy that one, and let's scoot it over to the beginning like that. And then let's do the same with the platform. But I want the platform as we put a keyframe on Y, and as it goes up here, I want it to go down just to make it a bit more interesting. So the platform goes down as the cube goes up. And then do the same, copy and copy these, scoot them over. Then, as always, what I like to do is just create some offset so it looks interesting. So all you can do is just press play and then you can just select all of these and just nudge them until you find something that's interesting. Maybe something like this. And then you go to your state machine and you make sure that the idle is set there as your state and that it loops. And then now this is your cube. That's basically what it looks like. Hope you enjoyed it. You can have lots of fun with this.